with anything ordinary. We won't be satisfied at all.
Well, to worship in spirit and in truth, Jesus in John chapter 4 gives us that wonderful scripture. And I had this thought the other day. I would sure have loved it if the Master would have had more references to worship. I wish we had a bunch of scripture to compile and get a big doctrine from the Master on what he feels about worship. But since we don't, we have this one scripture, and it almost has to say everything to us. That one scripture is what Jesus left us with worship. Of course, there's so many other mentions in the Bible of worship, but from the Master himself, the one scripture he gave us was those that worship must worship in spirit and in truth. Spiritual worship is a very deep thing. That's why we close our eyes in worship, because we try to close out the physical world so it can become a spiritual thing where we go down deep within ourselves into our spirit man, and that is the part of us that's like God and connects with God. We know what it means to worship in spirit, but to worship in truth is where justice comes in. And not just reaching out to people around the world that are hurting and needing, but also being ministers of the gospel, to where we have a personal desire to see people saved, and where we reach out to others and are soul winners. Now it's just approaching close to 7 billion people on our planet, and firmly probably 4.5 to 5.5 billion of those people are lost and on their way to hell. And so we need to have a passion to see souls saved. And so many people just want to lock themselves in a closet and worship and have devotion with the Lord, and their heart's good, but they have the spirit part down, but they need to get the truth part, the justice and the reaching out. And so many of us could increase on that.
Here we go.